welcome. I am going to share today some of the different ways that I work with a rattle. Now, I have several rattles. I have this very small gourd rattle. It has a beautiful, gentle sound to it. I have a larger gourd rattle. And you can hear that has a more, a deeper sound to it, a more forceful, perhaps, sound to it. And then in a pinch, when I'm traveling or when I have forgotten a rattle and I need to do something, I have the famous pill bottle rattle. In the Path of Awakening workshop, I teach this a lot. I teach people how to live in a sacred way, but also in a very practical way. One of the discussions that we have is around rattling and the different ways that you can use a rattle in your practice or in your healing work. So for me, the rattles work to clear energy. This big one right here would be a great one for that. You can hear it's got this force and this energy to it in that sound vibration, which is really all it is. It doesn't matter the shape of the rattle or the handle of the rattle or the beautiful little feathers on the rattle. What matters is that vibration, that sound that comes from it. And this one is particularly forceful in my opinion, so I use it to clear space most often. It would not be a good rattle to use in a healing session because it's just too much on the nervous system when you're trying to calm someone. I have this rattle which I use in a healing session because it's got a softer sound to it. You can hear that. It's a gentler, softer sound. I also use this rattle to call in the spirits, to welcome them into my space, to invite them to work with me in the daytime. So morning rattling very much includes this one. Whenever I need to clear the space, if I don't have smudge or Palo Santo or any of those other beautiful smudging tools, I can use that big gourd rattle to just clear the energy out. And this rattle to invite the spirits in, any helper spirits that want to come in and work with me. I also can use this rattle in a healing session. So I have a client lying on the table or the floor or wherever it is the client is. I've already done everything I need to do ahead of time to put them into a state of deep relaxation and open-heartedness, trust in the universe, and we've invited in all of their spirit guides and all of my spirit guides and our helpers, and we're working on first diagnosing perhaps where there is a block in their energy field or their physical body. So I would use the rattle gently over their body. Now when I'm doing this, there is a point when I start out the movement by moving my hand, and then there is a point where I just release that and I am no longer moving the rattle. I'm allowing the spirit of the rattle to take over. So for me, it very much feels like I wake up the rattle by moving it, and then I release any of my own attachment to what it does and how it sounds and where it's going, and I let the spirit of the rattle move to the forefront and take over. So rattling something, I'll know when I've hit on a block or a potential place in the energy body or the physical body or the emotional or mental body that needs some clearing, because the cadence will change, the beat will change, the rhythm will change, everything will sort of shift a little differently, and I don't put any judgment to what it means. I just know that there's something there that is ready to be released. So I'll sample it for you, I'll show you, but it's difficult without an actual being in front of me. So it might do this where I would suspect that it's a weaker spot in the energy body. Yeah, see, it's hard. I can't even practice, I can't even demonstrate fake with you because I'm so used to letting the spirit of the rattle take over, and the rattle is finding nothing wrong with this space here right now. So suffice it to say that the rhythm will change. It'll go from something smooth to feeling more jagged, and I'll know that that's probably something that needs to come out, an energy that needs to be released. When it picks up a quick tempo, for me, that typically means that either they're really, that part of their field, maybe it's a certain chakra, is really vitally active right now and working hard. And so you have to ask the spirits, what do I do with that? Is this something that we allow to continue? Is this something that we work with soothing and calming down? Is it overactive, or is it just absolutely perfectly active the way it needs to be? Do we in fact need to wake up the other chakras? So you really have to work with your spirit helpers to determine what the vibration of the rattle and the spirit of the rattle is telling you. Another thing that I use a rattle for is to enter into altered states, to enter into journey space, to enter into 7th, 8th, 9th dimensional sites, to really get out of this three-dimensional physical world that we live in so much of the time, and to move into that that unified field, into that place of all consciousness, so that I can work as a healer. When I do that, you really don't need much. So very typically in a shamanic practice, people would use the drum for that, and a drum beat that moves them out of their brain space and into that sacred space. Rattling works better for me, truthfully. I really like the sound of the rattle and the vibration of the rattle, and I have a good rapport with my rattles. But in a pinch, I use this. It's just an everyday pill bottle. I can pick them up anywhere. I don't even typically take pills. I buy pill bottles because I like their sound. I will actually go through a pharmacy and shake the bottles to see which one has the sound that I'm seeking that feels like a rattle sound to me. So this is that sound is a simple rattle sound, and it's a very deep but soft sound. This is a great one to help me get into realignment and come into a grounding space. So I use this. It sits in my home office, and when I'm feeling that I'm getting scattered, this is the rattle that I go to, and it's just a simple pill bottle. And each way that I might shake this rattle will evoke a different feeling in me, and I would invite you to be aware of that. To, when you're working with a rattle, let me put this down. When you're working with a rattle or any other tool, to pay attention to what it does in your body, how it feels for you. I don't care what your instructor might tell you it's supposed to do. You need to tune into what it is doing in your body, in your energy field. You need to tune into how something is affecting you, because we're all individuals in that regard, how we relate to energy. And there is no playbook. I know that we teach methods sometimes. I've had teachers teach me plenty of methods, and truthfully, I take what I want and I don't use the rest because it doesn't resonate with me. The vibration of the rattle is all about resonation and what resonates with you. What vibration will move you to what your goal, to what it is you're trying to achieve. Clearing space, diagnosing, removing blocks, grounding yourself. The rattle can do all of those things. You just need to pay attention to what the rattle spirit is trying to convey to you. So I hope that really helped you understand a little bit more about rattle energy and working with a rattle in a sacred way.